Welcome back everyone to the channel for another video. This is Q50 Beast and today we're in Gran Turismo 7 update 1.52 in the mighty GTR, the 2024 Nissan GTR. This is the premium. This is an amazing car. This thing runs pretty well as we're testing it out against its competition here at the Nordschleifer. This car is bone stock. What we've done is we've added sport soft tires. We've upgraded the wheels, made them a little bit wider, and we have race brakes. Those are the only upgrades to this car. We're gonna test this thing out and see how it does. Already the car feels a little bit floaty as it's almost 3,900 pounds. We can feel it floaty, so we're gonna have to put some suspension on this thing. But for a stock car, this thing is running very well. Looking at the power, we have a bunch of power in this car this time. 562 horsepower from the factory. Again, no power additives to this car, so we'll see how this thing stacks up against the world's supercars. Right now you see we're chasing down the previous generation of this car as we see if we can get past them. We got a little more horsepower than that car. We'll see what we can do. But again, the suspension, you can feel the weight. You see the car wobbling just a little bit as we kind of get airborne a little bit coming around here. But yeah, we're gonna have to put some suspension on this thing. But as far as a stock car, this thing is doing very well as we get this thing stopped. We got the race brakes up there. We had to do that. This is our second lap around the Nordschleifer. We have about 20 some miles on the car. But yeah, this thing is doing pretty well, handling very well for a stock car. We can definitely feel the weight of the car here, but the power seems to be amazing. So we'll see what we can do. We should be able to get around this Ford GT, but we'll see what it does against some of the faster cars. As we come around here, taking our time, see if we can get around this thing. Looks like we got a power advantage. It's pretty easy to accelerate on this car as we go ahead and get past it. And we're working on the Corvette C7, the mighty Corvette C7. See what we can do versus that big boy. See if we can catch it. In the corners, look like we're a little bit better than the Corvette, which is fantastic. Again, with the stock suspension, very stock car. We've only upgraded the wheels, made them a little bit wider, upgraded the tire level for grip, and we've added some race brakes. That's it. So hopefully you can stay with us as we watch us build this car. Maybe we can make a series out of this thing and just make it faster and faster and see what it does as we got it loose a little bit there. See if we can catch up to the C7. But this car feels right at home here at the Nordschleifer, and I can guarantee if we put suspension on this thing, it's gonna be a killer. Right now it looks like we're behind the Ferrari. The Corvette has gotten past it. Let's see if we can make short work of this thing. Ferrari's pretty fast, but it looks like we're able to accelerate on it. Once we get into a straight, we should be able to pass it. But let's see how this car does in the corners against the Ferrari. As right now, looks like we have a very slight power advantage. We were able to accelerate right there and do pretty well in the corners. And let's try to work on this Corvette now. And looks like we have a Maserati ahead of it as well, so we're really gonna get a good test of the Nissan GTR. The interior looks pretty cool, looks true to life. As we're making up some time on these cars here. Good test of power there as the GTR, we kind of traded some paint there a little bit, but the GTR is able to run down these cars. So yes, I'm very excited about the power that we have here with the Nissan GTR, as this is a pretty good addition. Yeah, we have a bunch of Skylines here in the car in the game, but I'm happy to get the new 2024 premium edition of the Nissan GTR. Again, as you're looking, we're at 562 horsepower stock from the factory. So let's see if we can get past these guys. We're actually having to slow up a little bit. The GTR wants to run a lot harder than the cars ahead of us. You can definitely feel the size of this car, though. It's a wide car, a big car, as we make short work of the Maserati there. So we see what we can do. Kind of a bad angle. Got a little bit too tight there. We were able to recover. Let's get on to accelerate and see what we got. As we're going to make short work of our little brother, the Mazda, as we just get right past him. But you can see how much larger the GTR is to that car. much bigger than the Corvette as well. As we're gonna try to work on this thing and see what we got. I love the new physics of the game. It's more true to life. You're not on rails as it felt before. As we just go right past the Corvette. Very impressive in the corners. Corvette is a measuring stick for a lot of the cars, and we made short work of that upper version Corvette. Okay, so we got a Porsche. This is the other car that you want to measure your car against as far as the corners. You know, you take the Corvette for power and measure it with that for speed and power, and then you take a car like a Porsche and see what you can do in the corners with that. So right now, let's see if we can make up some time here. This is on the hardest difficulty, as the Porsche is running pretty well, but we know we have a power advantage over that car, and we're gonna see what we can do, as we're actually having to get off it just a little bit, as we're able to carry a little more speed than the Porsche here. The GTR is just an amazing car. As big as it is, the thing just performs fantastically. As we're hard on the accelerator and we're getting to the end of this race. As we're doing what we got to do, the Porsche able to make up a little bit of time on us there, but we're going to just power through and get past it here. As we're running pretty well. Again, you see the car floating just a little bit. We need to get the suspension up there. It's just a little too soft. Well, the car is very soft. But it's doing well. It's all-wheel drive, so the front wheels are able to kind of make up for some of that loss. But once we get the suspension on this thing is going to be very, very hard to beat, even on stock power levels. You can really feel the 562 horsepower as we're going to power down this straight here. As you see, we're pulling away. But it looks like the Corvette wants to make a run, as it has that big engine in it, that big V8. Let's see if he can catch us. But right now, we're pulling on everyone. The Corvette's making up a little bit of ground on us here, as we expect on the straight. But we may have a little bit too much distance on it. The Corvette does have some of the slipstream if he can get a little bit closer, as he's getting closer now. But we're going to take the speed in here and see what we got. Carrying a lot of speed in there, but we're able to control it. Beautiful, beautiful car. I'm glad you guys are here to see this. This is update 1.52 in Gran Turismo 7. I definitely welcome this upgrade or update, as this is a very, very fun car. Watch us and see how we can build this thing and make this thing a killer. Thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Q50 Beast. Peace out.